what's up, everyone? It is me, Atari HMB, and how is everyone doing today? Glad to have you guys in with the stream today, and glad to be here and to talk to you guys about, well, pretty much the topic at hand. So, just want to first figure out how is everyone doing right now, and want to thank the people who made it today. We got Ans, we got SM up, SHM up fanboy. We got Macadamia. And yeah, this is going to be pretty hype. So, welcome to the stream. As you guys know, today we're just going to be talking about Dragon Ball in general. This is the final day. We'll be myth busting. Woo-wee! So, we're going to be myth busting some ideas that have been shared before. And yeah, that's pretty much all what we're going to be doing today. So, now, as a heads up, the stream will still end at 6 p.m. because here in New England, now, although I am late, guys, my apologies, we do have an extreme storm, extreme severe one, going to be 50 mile per hour winds, looking at 18 to 22 inches. So yeah, can't play no games right now. 2 feet of snow. Now keep in mind, for those who don't know, we already have an additional 1 foot of snow out there piled up prior. 1 to 1 foot and a half actually already. So we already got 1.5 foot or about 18 inches already. So you stack 2 more on that, we're looking at 2015 New England winter where we had like 36 inches. Because that's exactly how it happened. The snowfall didn't come in one night. It came as it piled up on what snow was already there. So it just made it even harder. For the most part. But yeah. Hey, what's up, Gabriel? Welcome to the stream. You know. Yes. A heavy, heavy snowstorm. What's up, SR Nova? Welcome to the stream. And yeah. But, you know, regardless of what we're experiencing, it's not going to dictate or stop the flow. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and begin. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and begin. Let's get this started. So, we could start by just talking about just Dragon Ball itself as a whole. And, you know, what myths need to be busted. So, Dragon Ball myth busting. Atari, what do you think about a raw meat diet? Unsanitary. That's my thoughts on it. But, you know, that's just, I have a plethora of reasons why, but yeah. I appreciate that, Gabriel. Mateo, welcome, my friend. Welcome. By the way, Bandai messed up and leaked the new Dragon Ball Age 1000 game as Xenoverse 3. Interesting. Leave it to Bandai, right? Woo-wee. Okay. Let's continue, guys. Over a year now. Interesting. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and begin. So, what's a common Dragon Ball myth? Let's type in top 10 Dragon Ball myths. All right, let's see. All right, let's see here. So one of the first myths we have is, I'm gonna type it in. One of our first major, like, common questions we get asked here is, let's take a look. One of them is Gohan stronger than Goku? Boo Saga. That's the first question we need to ask ourselves. Now, let's ask, was Gohan really stronger? Good question. And my answer to that, in my humble opinion, I don't think he was. Now, you might be saying, wait, what do you mean? Explain yourself, sir. Well, I will. So, the reason I specifically don't think, by the way, let's highlight this. So, the reason why I specifically don't think so is because Gohan, the way he was introduced into the series later on, his ultimate form was not designed to be stronger than Goku. In the context of, no, when people said the boy who was stronger than his father, they're talking about when in the Cell Saga he surpassed Goku. But as we learn from V-Jump guides later, we learn that Majin Buu Gohan states here, he catches Gohan off guard and absorbs him, gaining power on par with Super Saiyan 3 Goku. His clothes also change into a Dogi style. This can mean two things. Either they're saying Buhan is actually Super Saiyan 3 style and Goku was just holding back the entire arc, or they're trying to say that power on par with Super Saiyan 3, he was gaining power on par with Super Saiyan 3, meaning he was adding on top of it, aka Gohan. Okay? So, when they say this, in my opinion, I think it's the latter. I think this shows that Ultimate Gohan and Super Saiyan 3 Goku were relativistic in strength. To some degree, is what I think they mean by that. But the key is, Goku would have less stamina than Ultimate Gohan. Because Super Saiyan 3 burns more ki than Ultimate does. And this adds up, too, through a lot of other variables. Because a lot of people say, well, how can Goku be stronger than Goten and Trunks? Well, Goku is 100% stronger than Gotenks because it's literally stated in the series that Goku, Vegeta are the top three strongest in both the living world and the dead. So even if Goten was dead, like Gotenks was dead, or Goten and Trunks fusion was dead-wise, that application would still say he's up there. He's one of the top three. And that adds up because in the anime adaptation, Vegeta beats Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks while as a Super Saiyan. And I know that people say, well, but how strong were the illusions? Well, it's verbatimly stated that the illusions were as strong as the originals. And Goku beat Ultimate Gohan as just a Super Saiyan. But that's the anime, they say. I know. But this guide is talking about the manga. So you could argue anime Goku was stronger than Ultimate Gohan, but manga Goku was on par with Ultimate Gohan. Either way, no interpretation is intrinsically wrong. Because in the manga, Goku didn't go Super Saiyan 2 and fight Kid Buu. No, in the manga, Goku immediately went Super Saiyan 3. So, just want to give people that. And Goku didn't really land any hits on Kid Buu in the manga. No joke. Yeah. What's the next one? What's another common misconception here? Raw power-wise, yes, but in terms of speed, precision, Goku got it. It's not the same anime. Yeah. How do you feel about Tien Solo's fiction? Ask me, how do I feel about Outerversal Goku? Good question. My input on Outerversal Goku. Let's change the topic. So my thoughts on Outerversal Goku is this. Outerversal Goku, in my humble opinion, is my real thoughts on it is the main issue that it has is Outerversal Goku is basically up for too much scrutiny. There's too much that doesn't make any sense to really believe it. So, Outerversal Goku, I think it's not a good place to use arguments unless it's like Dragon Ball Heroes. But it also depends on the definition you use for outer. So, let me tell you guys something. So, I'm going to explain this. Me and Andre thought of an idea called hyperversal. So, if we go to the Versus Battle Wiki, alright? And we go Versus Battle Wiki tiering list. Right? I got all these commercials trying to... I got all these commercials trying to sell me something. Let me put my ad blocker on. There we go. Now I gotta get spammed. So let's go down. Now let's talk about hyperversal. Okay? Characters are objects who can significantly affect, create, or destroy higher dimensional structures that are 8 to any higher finite number of uncountable infinities above low 2C structures. In ordinary distribution, this corresponds to R to R2 here. Let's see what else it says. So, very clear what they're trying to say. Then we got this high hyperversal. Okay? So, what is high hyperversal? Well, here, let's take a look more specifically towards what they're saying. And we're going to talk about the issues here. All right, let's see. Alright. So when it comes to this, high hyperversal says characters are objects who can significantly affect, create, and or destroy infinite dimensional space. The first problem is they're using the term affect, create, or destroy. They need to clarify what affect means, because affect in what way? If we don't get clarification on what affect means, And what is it? How do we determine this? And besides the point, they say destroy infinite dimensional space. Characters who can meddle with space with uncountable infinity or above dimension should have a plus modifier in their attack potency section to high hyperversal plus. Okay. The problem I have with this is there are different variants. They could have said, because you still have Aleph 1, Aleph 2, Aleph 3, etc. The only reason something is called the uncountable infinity is because you can't progress by counting, like 0.0000000000000, etc. You can't progress no matter how many 9.9999999s you had. You cannot progress to 1, so it's still a type of infinitesimality, which shows that this is an uncountable infinity because we don't know the answer of how many 9s it takes until you get to the number 1. Okay? Countable infinity means you're actually making progression by going 1, 2, 3, 4. But the reality is both are technically uncountable when you look at the philosophical scope that infinity is just a concept. Now here's the thing. Low outer versal. Characters whose power is on the level of the von Neumann universe. That is, they either encompass or can affect structures which encompass the collection, including all possible dimensional spaces. As a general rule of thumb, statements of being above dimensions and the like, whenever validly indicating a superiority over higher dimensions, fall under this tier without further context. And then you got the FAQ. So, the problem is, they need to create a checklist to really hit this tier. Otherwise, you can get so many people into this tier. Okay? And this explanation is probably why not only Drip Sauce, but probably why SSJ Ryu and a few others are using the term Outerversal Goku. Not because of... And at this point, I can't even say it's because of wank. I could just say, no. Literally look at it right now. And let's use black screen. Look at it. In set theory, von Neumann is related branches of mathematics. Right? Now, what are the problems with using this to say this is Outerversal alone? And let's see, chat. I scale Goku to 8 to 12D. Yeah. Is the Aleph tier regulated to low outer or on that website? Respect that. Personally, I put him at 6 plus to 7 plus consistently. I put him in 9th to 10th dimension at a higher ball. I have read the reasoning for a low outer, and I never understood it properly. I don't really say 7D because I have Universe 7 at 7D. It's either that or they use CS&P wiki scaling, which just has it as if you're able to transcend dimensions in your Outerversal. There's too much going on with that, though. Because Macadamia, think about it this way. How many characters are not locked into dimensions within fictional scaling aspects? You know? $9D Goku, 12D. That I agree with Mateo. That is actually pretty good. That's a good place. I ask my wife if she can get me some milk because I have not eaten yet. For those who don't know, I was up all yesterday in the Discord, but I am still muscling through this. Have you seen 1C Zeno on versus Battle Wiki? I feel like DB power scaling is aging like fine wine. No, I have not. Versus Battle Wiki Zeno. One C. Complex multiverse. We stated that Zeno could easily erase the entire world if he wished to do so. Future Infinite Zamasu and Future Trunks World, which has a higher dimension encompassing its own multiverse. Hyper timelines are direct. So somebody used my argument. So somebody had to do all of this. So the Dark Knight, thanks for popping by the way. So the Dark Knight, somebody had to do all of this. And if you know, you know. If you guys know who made up this argument first, then you know. Like if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? Which shout outs to Perfectus Infinity. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Complex multiverse level, as stated by Gowasu and Beers. The Masu in this state was becoming Universe 7 in the hyper time. Hey, good quality content. Yep. It was shown to be. I don't know who argued this, but they did a good. If you were able to convince versus Battle Wiki, good job. The video is not available. This is good. Now let me see where they put Goku at. Mm-hmm. Why do we have this Goku? That's disgusting. I'm disgusted. And both of you. Alright, let's see here. Where do they place him? 2C. Low multiverse, low multiverse. Why is he still low multiverse? Do you honestly think Zamasu is stronger than Goku? I think these people lost their damn mind. Oh boy, I got my hopes up too much, guys. I think because someone managed to prove that the neutral zone is 6D, the same argument for the second temporal axis was similarly used to get high ends of Undertale to low 1C, even Photoshop flowy. Yep, Goku's still multiversal because they don't think he's at infinite Zamasu level. I don't know why. Well, let's see. Supreme Kai says that Jiren's power is on another level from anyone they fought. And thank you. And let's see. Yo, wife just gave me my milk and cookies. Guys, let's get some W's in the chat for the wife. W wife. But what I mean by that is, to say the least, let's take a look. I'm taking a look here. Yup, W's in the chat, W wife.
Thank you.
Now, my problem is this. Where does it say it? I can't find it, guys. But Supreme Kai said that Jiren's power is different from anyone they've ever felt. You should be able to. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, and so you have to scale it accurately. Now, Versus Battle Wiki, what are they trying to do? They're trying to formalize dimensional scaling, right? But their structure is weird. Because fiction doesn't care about real coordinate geometry, okay? Because the problem is, most fiction that says 12th dimension doesn't mean 12 axis real coordinate manifold. Okay? They're not talking about that. So, let me continue. Hold on. Man, that was delicious. Now we're pumped. All right, so back to what I was saying. Now that we got some energy in our body. So mathematically, infinite dimensional space that they're trying to talk about, like Hilbert spaces, functions, Banach spaces. But the thing is, fiction doesn't always use this. Or fiction will say, oh, endless dimensions. That's not the same thing. You know? Versus Battle Wiki, they're using real math, so they sound accurate, but no. And by saying statements, and the problem is, chat, who could tell me, what's the problem with saying statements of being above dimensions fall under this tier without further context? Yeah, there's an issue with that. Shadows says Atari. Goku Black says the summit is a power beyond anything man or God has explored. So that makes a higher dimension from the space between timelines. So if that space is 12D, then the summit is 13th dimensional, right? Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's a fair assessment. By that logic, Super Dementio would arguably be low outer by this logic. Of course, that's ridiculous, but it's what they could be inviting with this. Yes, Macadamia, exactly. Because fictions being beyond dimensions could just mean outside of 3D, beyond space time, being beyond mortal understanding, a higher plane of existence, metaphorical transcendency, uh, and so much more. You know, then you have the von Neumann verse, right? The issue with using von Neumann's, the issue with using this, right, is like, oh, the collection includes all possible dimensional spaces. Okay, that's fine, but that is effective. Like what that's doing, right? You're taking the set of all sets of dimensional structures, right? And then you're using like totality, right? And the problem with that for fiction is you need to make sure they're saying dimensional hierarchies. You need to make sure they're saying exist outside the totality of all spatial and temporal frameworks. You need them to talk about surpassing the concepts of dimensionality itself. If they're not clarifying that, you can't get here. So, yeah. Now, the other issue is, like, uncountable infinities, like, after two, what was it? After, what rank was this, right? Here's the thing. When they say, like, when they gave that definition, right, here, where they're saying 8 to any high finite number and uncountable infinite levels above low to C, right here. When they say that, it's like, it's kind of pseudo math, bro. Because essentially, you don't know what uncountable infinity means. You need a defined hierarchy. You need to know what cardinality they're talking about. Like, is it 0.000000001? Or is it just a whole number, or integer, or a fraction? You know? And we all know fiction doesn't clarify what a cardinality is, or Aleph hierarchies, or continuum hypothesis. You have to, you need to keep this vague, which is fine, but you need to keep it vague. And using uncountable infinity, infinity as a structure is uncountable. So that's not necessary. But yeah. Now, if you're using now this list, like I said, it's good for internal consistency within its own system, but it's important to understand what a definition means. Don't invite, like, by saying this transcends dimensions without further explanation is inviting so many characters to be labeled outerversal. Sasuke's Rinnegan is stated to transcend dimensions. So if you're saying we don't need further context, so Sasuke's Rinnegan can see outerversal beings or react to them. Is that what you're saying? Are you saying Sasuke could access an outerverse with the Rinnegan? Oh, we're not saying that. Then you gotta go in and edit it, because there's no getting around the linguistic framing of how they worded it. Or like you said, Super Dementio. If you're doing things like this, you're inviting more scrutiny level claims with that, because people are just gonna be like, well, my character should be outer than because they surpass dimensions. Ijimu from Midaka Box surpasses dimensions. They talk about surpassing dimensions in Dragonball, having no concept of space and time in the world of void, even though that could just mean like the idea of 3-dimensional or a 4-dimensional space, or the space-time that's normally governed in Dragon Ball isn't counted. Because think about it. Do you honestly, when you think about the fact that outerversal in the definition is supposed to be so much higher than infinite dimensionality upon hierarchies, and it's like, oh, how many universes can you destroy? Infinite. Well, those are only 3D universes. Well, I could destroy a 6th dimension, which has infinite 5D worlds, which each 5D world has infinite 4th-dimensional timelines in each individual one. So what? That's ad infinityism? Yeah, it's like an Aleph. It's like Aleph 3. You know, in this context, it's like, why are you doing that? So by adding outerversal in to make it this to make it this ambiguous, you're just going to invite a lot of scrutiny in this list. And like, again, effect doesn't specify anything. You don't know what that means. You know. And again, you got continuum infinities, like you got 2 to the power of Aleph null, or you got just Aleph null, and then you got Aleph null 1, Aleph 1, Aleph 2, Aleph 3, which are like higher cardinalities. So when you say uncountable infinite dimensions, what cardinality are we doing? Continuum? All possible cardinalities? You know, different variants? Are we doing ordinal universes? Which, by the way, ordinal universes do exist. Like a 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Because look at DC and Marvel. They have it. They have pocket dimensions. In fact, Marvel has a 0.353337 dimension using decimals. So Marvel has an uncountable infinity and a countable infinity. Because they literally say we have Aleph null, Aleph 1, Aleph 2, Aleph 3, Aleph 4, Aleph 5, Aleph 6, Aleph 7, Aleph 8, Aleph 9, Aleph 10. Then they actually have, oh, we have this dimension. It's a 2nd dimension. And this dimension is a dimension in between a 2nd dimension. It's a 2.5346 dimension. And this is a 2.5347 dimension. This is a 2.5348, 2.5349, 2.5350. Like, damn, bro. You got all these, like, tiny definitions. So, at least Marvel is... That's why I said Marvel is one of the biggest cosmologies ever in most fictions. Because they give definitions and clarifications of it. Because now, we're talking about uncountable infinities in between each individual integer. Because if you go 0.99999999999999999, that's uncountable. But then, if you do 1 point, now we get to the number 1, the 1st dimension. But then there's a 1.00000000000000000000000000001 dimension, and that could just keep going on. And then it's like, oh wow, but what about a 0.999999999, like a 0.1.9999? You get the idea. You can have dimensions that are like, dang, bro, like, how long until I do 1.99999 until I get to the number 2? How many times do I do 1.000000000000000 until I find out the first smallest aspect I can get to say 1? Exactly. Uncountable infinities. And then you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and that keeps going. And then imagine mixing that cardinal complexity with, oh, I have an Aleph 1 amount of dimensions. And what's that? Oh, that's an Aleph 1.1. Aleph 1.1? What the fudge? That's Aleph 1.2. Aleph 1.3. Aleph 1.001. Aleph 1.002. Aleph 1. You get the idea. The variants are so big. And we're talking infinite, not Googleplex, which is already so big your minds will explode if I try to explain it to you. And like, the idea is Marvel having this alone proves how complex they're, like, it's the biggest out there when you really, really sit down and think about it. But this is about Dragon Ball at the end of the day. The bottom line I'm making is Dragon Ball doesn't have clarifications like that. Now, I'm not holding Dragon Ball to the same standard to say it has to have all these claims to reach that. Because it doesn't. Because look at Dragon Ball Heroes, right? But I'm just saying that there needs to be more structured in gatekeeping with these higher tiers. And clarification, or everyone's just going to say someone's out of Versal. Pretty much. Yeah. But that's my answer to out of Versal Goku. For the topic, at least. I think the argument doesn't really work that well unless we're talking about heroes. Xenoverse 3 got leaked? Ooh. That sounds hype. I'm curious about how Xenoverse 3 will be developed. I am curious. And especially you want to know the story mode. Are they going to add crazier stuff? I missed a lot. No, you didn't, Vegeta Scales. We were just talking about dimensions. Yes, Charlie Hart. I do have a Discord. For those who aren't part of the Discord, there it is. What do I think about God Fusion Goku? His narrative implication is supposed to be he, just like Cosmic Armor Superman, his narrative implication is he steps outside of Dragon Ball. Alright, let's... Woo! Hey, welcome, Ans. Alright, let's see. Capsule Corp, Goku, a strong version of Goku. Absolutely. Hey, Dragon Ball today? Yes, beyond birthday, we're talking about Dragon Ball. That sounds Demi outer to me. I agree, Macadamia. That's like Demi outer Versal. But yeah. So, the thing that needs to also be clarified is like, now, to be fair, we know there's different variants of numbers, but anyway, I just think it's important. Let's see here. But yeah, above dimension is just going to cause outer Versal inflation. you seen Sensible Saiyan's DB fighting analyst? His videos really appreciate just how much love was put into a Dragon Ball fight. I have not seen it, but that sounds like something really cool to watch. What kind of threat should Black Frieza be in Marvel? Like Galactus level threat? Shadows, I think Frieza would be worse. Because Galactus usually goes upon plot consistency for that, from what I've seen. Whereas Black Frieza technically could just destroy everything up to even the Yggdrasil tree in the Dark Dimension with just a punch. So, in that context, no, Dark Frieza is just way too strong. I mean, Dark Frieza or Black Frieza. But I think Dark Frieza actually sounds pretty cool. Black Frieza just sounds like a meme. Low outer and versus Battle Wiki is just fancy outer on the CS&P. I agree. Yeah. Cause then, let's look further. You see all of this? Look at all of this. Look at all of this, bro. Like, god dang, bro. I mean, look at all of what the Versus Battle wrote. They're going with the Von Neumann. Like, they're like characters or objects existing as a whole and who is therefore completely unreachable and inaccessible to any and all extensions of aforementioned structures. Their superiority over such realms, as such, is purely qualitative. Okay? And then, based entirely on ontological quality and nature of their existence, rather than any quantitative or numerical principle. Okay. I get it, but y'all could have just said beyond numerical values upon baseline dimensions. There's a tighter way we could frame this. Then you say actually there's a tighter way we could write all of this. And I'm gonna tell you guys what we could do to like clarify and rewrite this. I'm gonna tell you the flaws about this and how we can rewrite this, especially the high outerversal part, because the characters operate different superior qualitative framework from 1A. That is to say, there is a hierarchy of 1A layers, each in between which operates. So you're basically saying these characters are beyond numerical, like. Outerversal character is already beyond the numerical framework of any numbers or whatever may be the case. But then on the high outerversal, you're introducing that there is a hierarchy of outerversal, as in there's layers into outerversal, which in some aspects makes sense, but the core definition of outerversal doesn't invite that if we're truly using it for what it is worth. And that you were better off just saying low outerversal and mid outerversal are really nothing more but just Aleph 1. Because hyperversal, that's not really a... Because the thing is, hyperversal technically should be Aleph null. So if hyperversal is Aleph null, right? Then that would make more sense to say, like, alright, like hyperversal plus is Aleph null, and then we have a level so much beyond that, which we call, Aleph 1. Then we got Aleph 2. Because essentially, low outerversal in this context pretty much might as well just be Aleph 1 in conjunction to the high hyperversal. So the juxtaposition of this is just, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, then you got outerversal level. Okay. Unreachable, inaccessible. Well, it's like, well, then a low outerversal tier shouldn't even be a thing. It should just be, well, if you're beyond an infinite number of these and you reach to a level where you're beyond the first smallest infinite cardinality, then by that definition we'll grant you the term low outerversal. But I just think they should come up with a different name and not associate it with outerversality anyway. They should call it something like Aleph versal, or I don't know, some stupid name they could come up, Omega versal, whatever you want to say, right? Come up with something, and then go off of that. So there's a difference. Then you could, then this would work. Oh, beyond dimensions. Like, no, beyond the first smallest infinity in correspondence to countable infinities in dimension. Like, there's a way you could word that. And then after that, high outer versal, typically you could even say high outer versal is, this is called demi outer. I use the term demi outer as an explanation to say it's not fully outer versal, where the complete concepts or absolute monolithical concepts of dimensions of space and time are gone, like or are trivial, but rather it's at the apex of what dimensionality can do, but yet it has not truly escaped the tier of measurement. So that's why, for example, we got Sargon, right? Who I've got Sargon, and we'll say like Multi-Eternity from DC and Marvel, like from Marvel. I will say like those guys are demi outer versal, because Sargon could still stack on multipliers. If you're outer versal, you don't get if you're true outer versal, another definition, another separation I distinguish, true outer versal doesn't have any limitation. Because, like, for example, they say boundless, tier 0, entities who are completely transcendent over any and all forms of hierarchy extensions. More specifically, they do not encompass the collection of all possible quantities represented in high 1A, but also exceed it utterly, existing beyond any and all distinctions between ontologies and any division between objects. But the thing is, I'm like, yeah, that's what outer versal. Like when you say, oh, he's beyond the measurement of all space and all time. Okay, so basically that the definition you guys use for boundless would fit that category in some cases. Because ultimately what you're just saying is, it doesn't matter how many levels of infinity or complex mathematics you add, this tier, high outer or true outer versal, is supposed to be, it's in the wording, outer versal. It is outside of the verse. It is outside of measurement. You cannot use, it doesn't matter how many, you can't use temporality or spatial dimensions to measure them. You can't use concepts. They are beyond, if you are beyond the metric concept, ideology, the idea, the existence, the essence of space and time itself, from a core definition of its source, then by definition you pretty much might as well be the same tier as boundless. In that context, I hope this makes sense. You said Zeno. People see Zeno as 3. Who the hell says Zeno is 3D? But yeah, Zeno wouldn't be outer versal. I call it pseudo outer. That's a good one too. Hey Tar, how strong is your cat character? Do you have? I don't know. You guys could power scale the cat though. Let's see what else I can find on these characters. If Goku run a Marvel Gauntlet, where would you stop? It depends. Bad idea to let people scale it? Nah, that's a great idea, bro. What are you talking about? This, all right. Let me see. I don't know why we're using Von Neumann. Like, no versus battle cares about that. They're just gonna say, beyond dimensions, beyond space-time, outside reality. Like, chat. How often do you see a fiction that says, using Von Neumann's space? I'm like, bro. Nobody get, like, no. Bro, we don't need to do all of that. You can explain the theory of the universal existence, but you don't need to do all of that. Atari, off topic. Do you still think Jiren could give Goku a hard fight? Yes, I do. Absolutely. He should. Capsule Corp Vegeta and Xeno Gogeta runs in Marvel Gauntlet. They stop at the Phoenix. That's where I would stop him at. My character does not have any crazy feats besides one-shotting Ijimu. So, I guess. You know what they should have did? We should have had something called Tier X, guys. Like, what I would say is, like, if I did this, I would say, like, oh, we got a tier, like, if they, I would be like, alright, this is Tier X. And what it is like, it's characters who surpass arbitrarily large dimensions or infinite constructs, but remain within the structure of ontological frameworks, like dimensionality, right? That's how you would do that inflation. And then you really want out of Versal, you would say something like characters who explicitly transcend the entire dimensional framework as a category, not by magnitude, but by but just by like existence itself. That's what I would say. And then you can even have another tier. Oh, we got the ontological transcendency, like characters like, you know, the one above all and stuff. Characters who transcend not just dimensions, you know, or ontology, but just the framework in which ontologies are defined. So anything you use to define them, they transcend in that context. You know, the nature of existence, essentially. Of the heroes in Marvel, who's the strongest right now? I think the Hulk. The Hulk and Sean, yeah. What are your most updated DB cosmology map continuity? I haven't done that yet, Vegeta Scales. Good question. I need to still work on that. My current DBZ cosmology graph still exists, but I have not upgraded it. Alright, let's see, chat. Here we go, here we go. Let me read this real quick. Oh yeah, do you think Goku in Super is less serious and smarter than he is in Z? Yes, I do. I think he has a lot of moments like that. Personally, we talked about this last night too with Roz and Alton and Ormph. It was pretty fun. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. What is all this? Just kind of just taking a look here. See what these guys got to say. Like, if we're talking about quantity, or like, you know, quality. Like, if we're talking about quality. I'm sorry, quantity. Like for the most part. Like for hyperversal. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, I want to say like demi outer versal, but I would call it different. I would call it something different. Like, name wise. Like, character, like a demi outer versal being to me is like somebody who is like, they're beyond the scope of dimensions that are infinite within a hyperversal. Because hyperversal doesn't explain anything. There are higher infinities that we can add to hyperversal to give it higher tiers. I would consider the smallest infinity to be hyperversal plus. It's like, oh, we've reached infinity. I'm like, good. Now let's go into a higher hyperversal. I'd call it super hyperversal or mega hyperversal. And then, which would basically, if I could form a definition around it, I would say super hyperversal. Characters who are able to go able to go and access higher levels of infinity with higher levels of grouped infinities or set infinities within the framework of hyperversality. In other words, instead of just in theory, it's like, all right, if a hyperversal is, infinite, a number of dimensions, blah 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 blah, we would consider that as like an aleph null, and then we'd say aleph 1, aleph 2, aleph plus omega. You get the idea. We would utilize these different variants of higher infinities and higher set infinities with different plausibilities as a overall deeper, larger numerical value. We're dealing with cardinality, like how many of things are there, versus just which would encompass size. That's what we're doing. And then the third tier, like right beyond that, then we'd say, all right, this is demi outerversal, which is like these are characters who have the nature, right, who transcend dimensional hierarchies as like a scaling method in most cases. Like they're beyond numerical numbers that we typically say, but they still interact and exist in a structure focused around dimensional aspects. They're not truly beyond every aspect of time and space at all times as well. And their strength isn't truly infinite within this tier upon the context of like it being a monolith. Then I wouldn't even do a low outerversal. I wouldn't even do a mid outerversal. I would just do demi, and then I would just say full outerversal or true outerversal, right? Where I would say, all right, these are characters who transcend not just ontology, but qualitative and quantitative, you know, aspects of the framework of that overall, you know. And then, like, if it's boundless, then boundless is just you're beyond all structural classifications, like dreams, concepts, thoughts, ideas that have nothing to do with temporality or spatial, you know, that type of stuff. That's what I would personally know. Just because the nature of Outerversal's existence needs to be modified for full Outerversal, because it's like, oh, I'm beyond dimensions. I'm like, so your dimension means measurement. So if you're beyond measurement upon dimensionality and temporal, then it's like, all right, bro, there's no point in even, like, if you're beyond the concept of it or idea, then there is no outer, lower, or mid. No, there's none of that. It's just, no, you're just broken. You're Outerversal. It's like, nobody ain't fighting you. Nobody ain't beating you at that point. You can create micro tiers in between that, because you have to accommodate not the logic behind it, but you have to accommodate that there are fictions that don't logically add up to that. I hope that makes sense, guys. Just call it archaic versal. It's random, but in my view, is a level beyond hyper, but below outer. The archaic. Ah, I like that. No, El Said, that's a good question, what you're asking. But basically, just because a character is not portrayed, because like Toribot got punched in the face by Arali, but that's because ultimately Toribot allows these things to happen. So it goes into, you know, a couple of other aspects. But yeah. If I did a versus battle wiki, I'd be like, hey, above hyperversal, we have super hyperversal, right? What the hell is that? Well, super hyperversal is characters who transcend, like, I would be like, oh, these are characters who transcend, like, not just infinity, right? Like, not the scaling, but they operate across higher orders of infinity, like hierarchies of infinite sets, cardinals, escalation, like, you know, escalate beyond the baseline of like dimensionality that we typically use, while still existing within the structure of an ontological system. I would say something like that. Or better yet, if I had to change it, it's basically it's infinity layered on infinity layered on infinity, but still countable in principle. There you go. Now, if you don't want to stack infinities, that's when we would say demi-outer, right? Or trans-hierarchical, I guess, if you guys want to call it that. You could call it super, like you could call it metadimensional, apex hyperversal, you know, ontic, and you can call it ontic transcendency or ontic versal, ontological versal. I don't know, whatever you want to call it, right? But the function is just characters who transcend dimensional hierarchies, like, just in general. That's what I would say. But they operate within that structure. Like, Sargon still technically has he operates in a space. But numerically, mathematically, he can interact, deal with, create dimensions, or, you know, things that are outside of that scaling metric. And then you got true Outerversal. Because there shouldn't be a low Outerversal or mid Outerversal or Outerversal 1.653, Outerversal this, Outerversal that, Outerversal Hello Kitty, Outerversal P. Diddy. Like, god dang, bro. Like, we don't need all of this. Yeah. And then obviously we got Boundless, which is whatever. But yeah, that's my opinion. Diddy Versal. Oliversal P. Diddy. Baby Oil Versal. Oh shoot, I hate you. Y'all ignorant, bro. Oh man. So another myth that Dragon Ball has that people don't realize. That's doing greasy work. That's so funny. Alright, let's see here. Let's see, Cell Max versus Gohan. How did they handle this? So we're gonna take a look real quick. I still think Beast Gohan is a great design. I don't care what anyone says. Let's see what chat says. I still love Beast Gohan. Though I think it should have been called Shen Gohan. Could Oil Versal Diddy beat Pan? No, wait. Nigga, why are you asking that? Bro! Bro, why would you ask that? Oh my gosh. Oh, hell no. Hell no. You just bring up Pan? Bro. There's no way you did that. This man said, can Oil Versal Diddy beat Pan? And I'm just here like, bruh. Pan is like 3 years old. I mean, is it? Yeah, I get what you're trying to, bro. Yo. Bro, let me stop. Yo. Y'all wild right now. Y'all wild right now. Dude said the Muten Roshi files. Oh my god! You can't do this to me.
Oh my lord!
Chat, lock in. Thank you. Let's lock back in, chat. Let's lock back in. Like, we need to lock back in, bro. We need to lock back in, bro. Yo, chill. Oh man. All right, so all right, so let's see what Gohan does here. Grabs him, tells him wake up. He goes to slam him. Throws a black hole. Piccolo grabs him. Gohan charges a special beam cannon. And Cell Max flies up. Starts swinging Piccolo. Bam. And Cell Max gets blasted. Krillin able to chip him with the Kienzon. God dang!
God damn!
Like, how the heck is Krillin able to do that? See, the problem with chain scaling is people be like Cell Max. Andre explained that his power fluctuates. But are we going to sit here and be like, yo, if Krillin can do this, chat, do y'all think Krillin is multiversal or just universal? Or complex multiversal? Like, do you think he's up there? Or do you think he could be multiversal, but he definitely ain't complex? Or like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. All right. There you go, guys. That's your list right there. Moon level chopper. That's so funny. Like, how is he able to hurt Cell? Somebody needs to explain this to me. Because let's talk about chain scaling. Let's see here. God dang, why is that? Why is that the first video I gotta see, bro? It's like the first 5 seconds, bro. God dang. Like, guys, chat. Like, this is the first 5 seconds of the video. God dang, bro. Look. Damn, bro. Bah! God damn. God damn. Yo, he knocked her ass clean, bro. Vegeta doesn't like furries, bro. I can't right now, man. Nah, hell nah. Nah. Dang, academia. Nah, that's all good though. But like, god dang, bro. I'm crying right now, man. But yeah. That's what I'm saying. Even with 36 minutes left, we still about to make some cool stuff happen. And I might try to do a part 2 of this stream. Just because the snowstorms suck. If you guys are down for a part 2, put some fires in the chat, bro. Yeah, like... Damn! Like... First off, he took an ice block that had... First off, that's absolute zero. Bam! Like, look. Bam! And if Vegeta's screaming, that means Vegeta's trying. So guys, if base Vegeta is already able to destroy the macrocosm, do we think Hop, the cat girl getting her ass whooped, do we think that she is complex multiversal? I think it's not. I don't think it's. Alright, I don't think it's stupid to say she is. But what do you guys think? Alright, it's for tanking. Hey. Like, I'm just saying, bro. Oh, snap. You said you're from Indonesia? Selamat pagi. Nah, I'm not. I'm fake. I don't know that much, bro. I've only you know, spoken a little bit before. That's what's up though. But I don't even know if it's morning for you right now. But yeah. Alright, let's see here. Hey, we got fires in the chat. People want a part 2 of this stream. Let's get it. Oh, an ice storm took out your power and was exploding your tree. Yeah, that does happen. The moisture builds up and compresses. I don't think it's stupid to say most random DBS characters are complex. The complex, high complex, while the high tier mortals are hyper. That's true. I mean, even though she got rocked. I mean, it's not too crazy, bro. If games were realistic. Why is Bowser about to beat Mario's ass, bro? Hold on, I'm looking at this right here. Against wrestle a chimp. I mean, of course, chimps aren't that strong. They just don't hold back. If people heard about the chimp beating up a lady, and they're like, "Oh my God, chimps are like God tier level strength." I'm like, no, it's just it didn't hold back on a lady. Like if you told Rampage Jackson to go outside and attack an innocent bystander and just start going ham on them without holding back, and he's on bath salts, the same result would happen. Atari versus... Yo, Atari versus Chimp Live is crazy work to say in the great 2026, because here's the thing. The fact that I'm reading from this, I mean, here's the thing, Vegeta Scales. This article was written by the same thing you think that I'm about to fight off against. So, I mean, I'm already fighting chimps. No, I'm just playing. Let me stop. I'm playing. I'm just playing. Nah, but I don't care. Yeah, I could be off topic. I mean, we're about at that time. So, god dang, why am I stuttering a lot? Y'all better not clip this. So yeah, you could go ahead and tell me. In most cases. So so typically people. Oh, sorry. So most of the people in the chat do agree that Hop got her ass whooped, and most people agree that she's complex, multiversal, but she still got rocked. Wife, come here for a moment. Don't say nothing because you're still alive. Can I show you something? Put your hand here. No, here.
Where?
Just put your hand right here.
Oh, my phone. Oops, I dropped my phone. Whoa, whoa. It's super hot. The screen.
Yep.
It's like a heater.
And my PC is hot too.
It's like a heater.
Yeah. But anyway, that just goes to show you when you use a 4K monitor. Do you also? Yes. And the chat says hi, wife.
Hello.
Do you also discuss about music? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'd love to talk about more music. Though I might be thinking of like certain stream types, we might need to go to Twitch. The reason we might need to go to Twitch, chat, is not because I don't want to stream on YouTube, but chat, if y'all are down to follow me on Twitch as well, you know, if you guys are down to follow me on Twitch.tv, you know, you guys can, I don't know if you guys could, but just I don't know, freaking, I gotta think of something. Drop some CDs in the chat. I don't know. Drop some CDs in the chat, bro. Like, if you guys are down. If you will follow me on Twitch. Because if we're on Twitch, we could go and I could do more reaction videos like this. Because YouTube demonetizes it. And sometimes we'll even block it. Whereas on Twitch, I could react to way more stuff. And have way more engaging topics. We could even watch entire episodes sometimes. So if you guys send clips, we can actually watch them a lot more. I might also do a IRL stream, guys, where we'll go around asking people, do they think Goku solos? Or if I went around and asked people certain matchups. Because, like, for example, make an anime list that can beat mine. So, like... So, I love this brother. This brother, yo, for people, Shonen Showdown, go and support his channel. He definitely does some great quality content. And, you know, it's pretty fun to watch. But, like, he'll do stuff like this.
Beat mine. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, you get first pick.
Oh my God! Wow, I might go vice captain.
So he picks Saber.
You being greedy.
I'm gonna be greedy.
So vice captain.
Nah, it's a setup. It's a setup.
This is
How
my
does-
captain,
how does he
man.
Luffy. Yo, chat. So this is the thing. This is why I love this brother, because he goes to these comic conventions and they don't know. It's too embarrassing for you to watch. Ha! Yes, SSJ Rio. Oh yeah, we know SSJ Rio is the GOAT. That's my buddy. I've known SSJ Rio for up to 13 years now. But let's go into this. Let's real quick. Saber versus Luffy? Oh, people who can't see, by the way. Yeah.
Luffy, it's a setup, bro. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Lelouch.
Lelouch?
Oh my
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Lelouch above Saber as a captain is wild.
Alright. Makima?
Okay.
Support.
Alright, support.
Yeah.
Can we go
Makima.
Oh,
Makima's busted.
okay.
Oh,
Noel?
I'm gonna do support.
Alright. Alright, here we go. Dungeon Woo!
Ah,
Dungeon Woo!
wow.
Vice captain, baby. It's a good matchup.
All right.
Oh my god!
Rimuru Tempest? Are you kidding me? I'm gonna go healer.
I'm
Healer? Yo.
not mad at that at all.
All right. So,
That might be a skip.
I'm skipping, bro.
Yeah, that
I
might be a
can't-
skip.
wait. Who did he skip?
I'm not mad at that at all. Griffin!
That might be a skip.
I'm
Griffith?
skipping, bro.
Yeah, that might be a
Yeah,
skip.
yeah, okay.
And stomp him out too.
Yeah, it's not, not to. Alright.
Okay.
We're back.
Ooh.
That,
I probably.
yeah.
I can tell. He's saying. Is
That's
yours
a good
already?
one.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright.
And then,
Oh, I have to.
nah, he fumbled so bad.
Love him, but I can't put him on there.
Wow. Alright, let's go.
Oh my god.
Berserk,
I don't
guts.
know, Rob. I don't know.
Hold on. Naruto!
Wow.
Now, oh, okay, that's a good one.
Y'all saw how he shuffled through them cards? He knew that was there.
I didn't know
He
any
knew that was.
Yo, he's a great healer too, you know? Oh my god.
Really? Are you
Wow.
kidding me?
Oh my god.
All right,
bro.
chat. So,
Alright. Mob.
Vegeta scales, you're gonna know. Mob Psych. Okay.
This is a matchup,
This is
though.
crazy.
This matchup is not crazy, my guy. I love your content, but we gotta. Yeah, yo. Somebody said, not gonna lie, that fight would be a cinematic masterpiece. No, the hell it would not.
Oh my.
Oh hell no! I know that the comment said, "Yo, this fight would be a cinematic masterpiece, bro." Like, hell no. The only person who would say that is Downplay Dylan. Downplay Dylan would say something like that. He'd be like, "Well, you know, I think this is a cinematic masterpiece." Well, of course, I think it's a cinematic masterpiece, you know? Like these guys are all, like, relativistic to each other, you know? Like, no! Yeah, exactly, Vegeta. Hell nah. I have no idea because there's too many characters that I don't have full knowledge on. Nah, that's okay, Macadamia, but, like, let me put it to you this way. Yo, is Donez in here? Where's Donna? Yo, is Donez in here? Where is he? Somebody tag. He's not here. No. Your chat getting deleted? It should not be. I don't see it getting deleted. But if it is, let me, tell me what you're typing in. Bro, like, ain't no way you gonna sit here and tell me this fight will be a cinematic masterpiece, man. No, it would not. Hell no. Hell no. As soon as they got Saber or Ramiro, that fight's over. Like, hell no. There's not a damn thing anyone on that left side could do to Ramiro Tempest or Saber. Saber and Ramiro will literally... You could put everyone on his list on the opposite side and just leave Saber and Ramiro, and they will literally dog walk that entire team. They won't even register that team exists. They'll just be like, oh, who threw a piece of paper at me? Are you kidding? Ramiro? My boy Ramiro? Oh, hell no. Chat, do y'all think that Ramiro Tempest being on this list alone already, like, bodies this entire... Like, chat, do you think Ramiro Tempest can solo? Try refreshing your page. Leave the chat and come back if you're getting trouble with typing.
Maybe it's a glitch.
They ain't bro, ain't no way, boy, ain't no way, boy. Hell no. Nope. Ain't no way you about to... Let me see here. Alright, let me test it again.
Oh my gosh, what is that noise? What is that noise?
Blizzard. Conditions expected. Travel ban starting 7 p.m. today. Without whiteout conditions will make travel treacherous and potentially life-threatening. High winds expected to reduce visibility and could bring down trees, branches, and power lines.
Oh my. This storm is not a joke.
Yup, I got an Amber Alert. It's a good thing that I stayed home, chat. Because I had people saying, yo, you trying to go skating tonight? And I'm like, bro, ain't nobody trying to go skate. Like, man, who do you think I am? Do I look like Toshiro Hitsugaya? I ain't Hitsugaya, bro. Hitsugaya. Like, I'm not this Nick. I ain't gonna be out here like that. Like, oh yeah, I'm Hitsugaya, bro. Like, nah, this don't bother me. It powers me. Hell no, I ain't doing that, man. Yo, Atari should check out the Fate scaling by Guess Who explained. Oh, perfect. Vegeta Scales, go on the Discord and send me that if you can. That'd be dope. Nah, thanks guys. Thanks for those who are concerned. I appreciate that. You want to react to your music? So do you do music? Oh. You're talking about shmup. Yeah. Yeah. If you want to listen to like that type of music, like Contra, right? Then yeah, for sure. We could listen to like stuff like that. Absolutely. Name someone who could solo this list.
A man with an eraser. That's pretty much it. Ignore these three, ignore these three, and ignore these three. These two, Zeno and Shinra Bancho Man, have the ability to create and destroy universes like that.
Wait, what? What the hell? Oh, hell no, chat. We gotta listen to this. No, hell no. Who the hell did... Bro, what did you... Bro, did you just hear what the hell he just said? Hold on, man.
A man
He said...
with an eraser. That's pretty much it. Ignore these three.
Ignore these three. So ignore Rimuru Tempest. Ignore Goku. I get ignore Luffy in context of how strong he is.
Ignore these three. And ignore these three.
Did you just say ignore? Chat, I am... What year is this? What year is this, chat? Did I just see someone say ignore Anos Voldigold? Did I just see someone say ignore Anos Voldigold?
These two, Zeno and Shinra Bancho.
Shenra? You're gonna ignore Anos Voldigold for Shenra? Ah, hell nah. Nope. Nah. Nope, we ain't playing no games today. Heck no, I can't believe I'm hearing this, man. This is crazy. This is really actually crazy. Heck no, bro. Steep. Like damn, man. If I react to shoot 'em up music, it is going to put the channel under. They are going to mute it, so it depends on the music I react to. You know what I'm saying? But I will like once like, but like I said, shoot 'em up fanboys. When we go to Twitch, I'll have way more liberty to do that without worrying about demonetization from YouTube and such. Because the problem with YouTube, as awesome as an opportunity and platform YouTube is, they do have a lot more limitations than you would get on Twitch in some cases. Because on Twitch you can be more, you could still you know, you could use whatever language you kind of want to use for the most part. You know, this is more liberty. Yeah, you get it though, you get it, but for sure we will try. This is why I don't watch power scaling on TikTok, bro. It kills my brain cells. Or YouTube Shorts. Explain it. Good quality content, like, explain it. You should watch some fight analysis by Sensible Saiyan if possible. Yeah, absolutely. I hear what you're saying, Dark Knight. That definitely would be pretty cool. I see something here.
Bancho Man had the ability to create and destroy universes like that. Shinra Bancho Man recreated the universe like 100 times until eventually it looked just the way he wanted. He made the god of death so people would worship the god of death.
Guys, although he's saying this, didn't Ramiro Tempest quite literally through imaginary space create a 10,000 universes? Like, come on.
He has reality, time, every kind of manipulation. He is God, for all intents and purposes. If he doesn't want you to exist, you simply will not. Zeno's in the same camp. The people that can think of that will clear this list are the cameraman, UI Shaggy, and maybe Quandale Diggle, but that's a high diff fight.
Alright, this feels like he's trolling. This gotta be like a part troll. I don't think it's being serious. Because it's like Beyonder, Eternity, Sargon, Geese Howard. Like, I could name so many characters who could solo this list. You know? Scarlet King. Like, chat, could we agree Scarlet King can solo this list? Like, I think we can agree Scarlet King solos this list, right? And then somebody in the chat gonna say something stupid. Oh yeah, Scarlett Johansson. Like, no, nigga, I said Scarlet King. The image is also CC Goku. Yeah, if it's DBS. I gotta charge my phone in case power goes out, chat. Don't know about Zeno, though. I might have to download some really solid YouTube videos as well that can hold me over for the time being. So once I end the stream, chat, I am going to be downloading some, like, YouTube videos that are really educational and entertaining to watch. And then be able to... Well, actually, I can't watch them because I don't have my laptop. Damn it. Yeah. I don't know about Zeno, though, because what we see him do is light work. Yeah. I think Scarlet King... But Scarlet King should still win. Is what I mean. Like, if this is DBS. Yeah.
Draft a big three anime team to beat mine. Are you ready?
All right, let's go.
Naruto, One Piece, Bleach characters only.
Give me Ichigo. Ha! Oh, Orochimaru. Yeah, I'm going healer.
All right, let's see, chat. Let's see what they do.
Monkey D. Luffy. You kidding me?
Ichigo.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's really good.
Sakazuki. I'm gonna put him vice captain.
Why would you put him vice captain? He's beating Luffy's ass. Okay.
You gonna get
Ooh.
Scarlet Witch?
Solid.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch too.
I gotta skip it.
Hold on.
Chad.
Chad?
Here we go.
Ooh, what?
Yeah,
That is my
Uryu
vice
is
captain,
bodying everyone on that
He
list.
is a beast, Quincy.
All right, I need Ichigo. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Ooh, Kage is also really good.
Villains? I'm
Yeah.
team villain right now.
That is a villain squad.
This is crazy.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's actually
Yoruichi?
good, but
Come on. One
I
of the
think-
fastest characters on this whole chart right now.
I'll put it as support.
God dang, he got Yoruichi! Oh, nah, he's winning. I think he's winning.
I need Ichigo. Ooh, Kenpachi though.
Hold on.
He's tank. He's my tank.
He got Kenpachi, but this
This is
this
my
dude.
tank. One of the best hockey users in One Piece.
Ah, nah, he won. He won. He won. It's over.
Man.
Ooh, Orochimaru Law combo though.
Sheesh.
I need to lock in, man.
Law is getting blitzed and obliterated by Yoruichi. Who agrees, chat? Law, as fast as he is, Yoruichi is ridiculous.
Rukia got stronger in Thousand Year Blood War for sure.
His hand of mine is burning red. Burning Manga. Oh my god.
He got Madara.
Oh my god.
God dang.
I'm chilling. All right. Oh.
Yamamoto?
Yamamoto. This is kind of crazy because like you have.
I don't know, chat. Who do y'all think won? Which team won? In my opinion, having Uryu Yamamoto is already overkill, in my opinion. Because I don't think Kage is beating Uryu. Yeah, that team is too crazy. IDK. Oh, well, thank you so much. Thanks to Gita Scales, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say, bro, like, I don't know, man. Just here for the right, exactly. Macadamia, that's the thing. We're just having fun with it, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I've been tagged in this video 1,000,001 times, and you guys want me to name a character that could take out this entire list? Yeah, that's light work. Such light work that I won't even name multiple characters from the same series.
Okay, the fact that you said light work is crazy. Like, don't get cocky.
Void Shiki from the Fate/Natsuverse would destroy every single one of them. The girl scales to boundless and can use every single noble phantasm that ever existed. Okuto-san.
I mean, Voice Shiki is up there, but I could argue Anos Voldigold. It has, I could argue Anos Voldigold kind of just prohibits that. And you better hope, yeah, so I don't know. But Akudosai, nah, Kudosai has been recently debunked in some
From
cases.
Demon King Daimao would literally write all of their stories out of existence and show Anos Voldigoad what a real Demon King looks like. Feathering
That's not true. I think somebody has broken down. The Kudosai is a lot of presumptions. Like, people saying Akutosai is above Anos it's very difficult, because the thing about Akutosai is there's a lot of scrutiny behind his scaling for people who actually read the series. Same with Featherine. Featherine is not stronger than Anos, though a lot of people think she is. It depends solely on your interpretation of her, because she's also up for a lot of scrutiny, whereas Anos is kind of like, they kind of just tell you flat out how strong he is. And again, the way the character is written, he could be really powerful. What I'm getting at is, I wouldn't say it's light work. Chat, do y'all think it's light work?
from Umineko like Okutosai would wipe all of their stories out of existence without a second thought, and then promptly have a very nice drink to go along with their deaths. Rufus Mafal from A While Last Boss Appeared is definitely on my list too. As long as she thinks she's stronger than them, she is stronger than them.
As long as she thinks she's stronger, she is.
Ren Fuji from Desire is just another character that could wipe their stories off the
Daizere? No, Ren Fuji loses to Anos. We called out Daizere for what it was.
map without even thinking about it. So until any of them have the power of the pen, they can't win.
Because a lot of Akudosai scaling is narrative transcendency and, like, oh, metafiction. Oh, this is a story to me, and, like, story writing cosmology. And a lot of his outer-versal scaling comes from interpretations of the reading rather than actual ontological statements. Same with Feathering. In Anos Voldigold, he specifically has cosmology levels. He explicitly has showed destruction mechanics and transcending hierarchies. So like if we're going specifically in that aspect, you know, I wouldn't say that's just a hard conclusion. So I don't think you can hard conclude that Kutosai just beats Anos. Same with Feathering, they beat Anos just off of that. In literally the same novel, it says, oh, a ship here, I could destroy an infinite world up in, like I could, like on the shallow layer, I could destroy an infinite world, but here on the second layer, I can't even destroy a single ship. It's like, bro, if a boat, like if a cruise ship is more durable than an entire macrocosm for just the second layer of the Silver Sea, that would mean you could, if you want a calc stack, you could say, okay, if a boat equals greater than an infinite universe with 4 different universes in it, because each layer of the Silver Sea is about, like, so the first layer, based on math calculations, is 5D as itself, right? Then if a ship is greater than that structure, right? The ship is either low 6D or high 5D, like, because it's infinite 5D on the first one. So it's like, or you could say low 5D, mid 5D, I don't care. I'm just kind of simplifying it. But the bottom line is, if you say that, then you would be saying, okay, if a ship is that strong, then that means the planet, or sorry, that means the universe for the second layer of the Silver Sea is 6-dimensional. And then you have the deeper world, and then you have the world god world, which is a higher dimension as well. And then the world god world for each of the Silver Seas, because each Silver Sea and each bubble has one. So that would be like 8-dimensional. Sorry, no, that would be 7th. Yeah, that would be 6-dimensional there. Then it becomes 7th-dimensional for the world god world. And then the bubble that contains it would be 8th-dimensional. Then the in-between space of the bubbles, known as the Silver Sea itself for the second layer, is 8th-dimensional. So basically, if that pattern repeats, and we know there's 99 layers, then basically what you're getting is you're getting 99 times 3 plus the first 5D layer. So basically, you're talking about, arguably, if we're using versus battle metrics and we're sort of transitive property calc stacking, you could get Anos Voldigo the 302nd dimension, assuming he could destroy the entire Silver Sea, which is heavily implied. And the thing is, there's many more layers of the Silver Sea. They said the story only tells us there's 99. You can argue there's infinite amounts. And if there's infinite amounts, depending on how you argue this ontologically, you can, oh man, you can get Anos to, I don't want to say demi-outer, but at the same time, I would probably say super hyperversal. So what I mean is, like, because of the evidence we use for Okutosai and Feathering, it's just not enough. Same with Ren Fuji. Ren Fuji from Daizire is definitely not that strong. No. All of that is just assumption. Whereas Anos Voldigold has mathematical, numerical arguments for himself. I just re-entered the live, and the first thing I see is Midnight Dre. Hell no. Wait, yo, FZ, what do you know about Midnight Dre? Like, is he known for controversial takes?
Izuyoi Sakamaki from Mondachi Tachigai Isekai Karukuru Sodosuyo is basically an Anos on steroids. His mere existence is a multiversal threat, let alone his power.
So what if his existence is a multiversal threat? That don't mean a damn thing to Anos. For the last guy?
Izuyoi Sakamaki can't win. And Izuyoi Sakamaki from...
Let me see. Izuyoi Sakamaki.
According to VS Battles Wiki, fandom, Sakamaki Izuyoi is the main protagonist of the series Mandaiji Tachi ga Isekai Kara Kuru so Dezu Yo. Since childhood, Izuyoi possessed high mental capabilities and an extraordinary physical prowess which progressed into never-ending...
Shut up. They rank him at 1C on the versus battle. I just need to get the statements that people use for him. When the two cosmologies collided, one after another for the first time since he appeared. Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right, chat. So it's one of those, and I'm not knocking it because Anos Voldigold kind of does the same thing, but it's like, here we go. A random... like, Izugoi Sakamaki is, like, higher than Anos. And it's like, bro, the same, like, y'all be using these scans and never include the Japanese original. And then they be including, like, the most, like, it'd be the most weird thing. Heck no. They'd be doing that. It's like, man, stop with these random screenshots. What's the original Japanese statements so we can get a proper translation of it? Because I don't know if I could trust your translation. A mere human using another cosmology. Now, it's like, do they actually say that in Japanese? Because most Japanese writing doesn't use the term cosmology. Most of them would say another human using another universe or another world. They would use the word sekai very commonly. So I'd need to see what they're saying. Midnight Dre thinks multiple characters are boundless simultaneously. Okay, I see. So you guys know about this dude. I just found out about him today. Why me? So many characters batch OP. At this point, if your character can't sneeze galaxies into submission by the age of 14, they're disappointments. Even anime girls could hold entire creation in their hand. Bro. They funny though, I'm not gonna lie. But that's not that's not what we're here for though.
So who wins the anime manga versus battle between these four characters?
Alright, hold on.
Characters with all of the amps shown on screen.
Our battle will be legendary.
Now the first one out here is more than likely going to end up being Luffy from One Piece. Because even if we assume that Luffy would have some sort of ability to turn off all the devil fruits that he doesn't want to use at one time and therefore doesn't end up as a giant blob on the floor, you really didn't give him much that's going to help him win this fight. Giving Luffy access to every single devil fruit will be beneficial and tricky to deal with, but considering everybody here essentially got infinite energy, Luffy already has access to every form of hockey, and his own fighting style isn't that far removed from Fishman hockey. He really doesn't have anything that's going to.
It doesn't matter which fictional character you really
Now
take.
the next one out here is going to end up being Naruto. Giving Naruto access to infinite chakra essentially means he would have an infinite army of clones, and he could use Baryon mode very efficiently. Additionally, having access to every single kind of jutsu is going to be a massive boost for him with an infinite army with infinite chakra that can use all of these jutsus. But the glaring issue for him and why he doesn't rank any higher than this is the fact that the remaining two characters are too fast and too strong with him, with far better hacks and abilities, and they have counters to him in a lot of different ways. Now,
what? That doesn't really matter because, chat, wouldn't Naruto in this example, hypothetical, also be infinite speed? Because if you have infinite chakra, there's no reason to assert he can't have infinite speed. That just sounds weird.
Second place on this list is probably going to end up going to Goku from Dragon Ball. Because kind of like Luffy, you really didn't give him enough to definitively win this fight. Having infinite ki, all of the angel abilities, and every key technique is going to be a massive bag of abilities for Goku to tap into, but he's already got access to every form of Super Saiyan, and the other forms are not going to pay him any dividends here, and he's already got MUI. Additionally, all of those key abilities that he's going to have isn't going to be enough to overcome the hacks difference that he's facing between him and the remaining fighter here, and if he does Goku things,
oh my god, you're about to rage quit.
And that remaining fighter and the winner here is going to be Ichigo from Bleach, because with Shikai, Bankai, Kido skill Shrift, and the Hogyoku to help him adapt to anything that anybody else would use in this fight, he really cannot lose. Aizen's Kyokisui Getsu is going to be playing mind games with everybody here. Shinji's Bankai is going to make it so they would never fight Ichigo and would focus on fighting each other, and even if they somehow did manage to get through everything that Ichigo's got, he can just hot swap timelines with the Almighty and then make sure that he always wins.
That's not how the Almighty works. Roz went over this, but let's go.
With a passive and massive kit of abilities, as well as the stats necessary to compete with the strongest characters here, there is no way that Ichigo's going to lose. So,
oh, hell no. Nah, bro. Nah. I don't care about ending the stream at 6 o'clock. We doing overtime, baby. We doing overtime, baby. Hold up. Hold up. Nah, bro. Hold up. Chat. I gotta go Super Saiyan. Bro. Chat, we going Super Saiyan. Chat, we're going Super Saiyan. We are going to be using Super Atari. Now, chat, should we use Super Atari God or Super Atari Blue? That's the question. Super Atari God, blue is overrated. Thank you. All right, here we go. All right, I'm powering up. Yeah. We're not playing games anymore, chat. I'm not playing no games. Y'all thought I was playing. You realize how long I've had this bad boy tucked away? Call me Super Atari. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, bro? Now that I'm here, I'm going to be displaying dominance in the versus battle. Let's go. Now to answer the question here, my friends, let's find out if he can handle that of a super scaling god. No, but like, let's see. First of all, let's see, chat.
So who wins the anime manga versus battle between these four characters?
So let's actually look at it. Ichigo, Infinite Ryatsu. All Bankai, plus True Bankai. All Shikai and Hokugyu. And Kidos and Scripts, okay. Luffy, Infinite Haki. All Haki forms. All Devil Fruits and Awakenings. Fishman Karate, okay. Naruto, Infinite Chakra. All Ninjutsu, all Taijutsu, okay, all Genjutsu, okay. I don't know why he would have all Taijutsu unless you're talking about Toad Fu and stuff like that. Anyway, all Genjutsu, all Kekkei Genkai, all Tailed Beasts, all Shinjutsu, all Fuinjutsu. Goku, Infinite Ki, all Super Saiyans. All angel abilities. Alright, Goku wins. Goku already wins right there. MUI, all key techniques. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Goku wins. Goku wins. I'm not saying that to be biased. I'm going to tell you why. Okay? That's funny, Macadamia. I don't know if you mean that sarcastically, but chat. Why does Goku win? Well, I'll tell you why. Goku already wins, even if you don't give Goku. here's the thing. Goku wins this battle. All right, this is going to ruffle some feathers. Let me turn up the mic. Goku wins this battle off of either just... Goku doesn't need any of these. I'm going to tell you why. The first problem is dimensional tiering wise. Just because you give Ichigo Infinite Ryatsu, all Bankai, all Truth, none of that matters. Because the Bleach verse is still smaller than the afterlife of Dragon Ball, which Goku could destroy in base. So Goku doesn't need Infinite Ki. Base Goku from Resurrection F could still beat every last person on this list. The only thing he has to worry about is potential hacks. But you could just argue Goku can overcome that with just raw power. Because Goku just has a higher ceiling. There's your answer. Didn't need to do too much thinking on that, to be honest with you guys. Because when you break it down at its core, that's essentially what it is. Yeah, listen to this keyboard type. So, yeah, no, you're right, exactly. Science determined, like, Goku doesn't need any of that because he's all, like, if you gave Goku Infinite Ki, that means Ultra Instinct lasts long or forever, and that means with Infinite Ki. And secondly, chat, if y'all know, all angel abilities means Goku cannot be erased. That means Goku can't be erased. Angels can't be erased unless they use their powers. And upon this battle where you're assuming that he has the abilities, but he's not going to... Like, no. Angels also can accelerate age. Angels can also accelerate age, bend through materials, like when Whis could unzipping and re-zipping materialistic doors. That would include Goku would have a staff based upon the angelic ability, and he could let his Goku's staff could fight Naruto and Luffy. And they're not going to have enough speed. Goku has infinite speed without Infinite Ki. You give him Infinite Ki, he'll never get tired. That's the worst combination ever. You never want to give Goku that. Because essentially, Goku is not going to stop growing. The Hogyoku doesn't adapt as fast as Goku does, in my opinion. Because if it did, then Mugetsu shouldn't have did what it did against Aizen, technically. And it's like, oh, the Hogyoku keep adapting. It's like, yeah, to what dimensionality? Because Goku doesn't just adapt to a flat dimensionality. Even if the Hogyoku got Ichigo to infinite power, that infinite power would be scrutinized to one specific dimensionality, not 5D. Like, even if we say, oh, Ichigo's 5D. All right, so what? Goku's 6D. I mean, Goku's 7D in base. Get out of here with that, bro. And then if I'm using the Broly movie where Goku's base form bypassed the Infinite Zamasu because Goku's base form surpassed his blue form itself in the Tournament of Power, then I could just say base Goku strong in the Infinite Zamasu, and we all know how strong that bro is. So, again, there's too much. In fact, Naruto's Genjutsu, a lot of stuff don't matter against MUI because even Granola, who had some of the best clairvoyance out there in Shonen, was even like, I can't perceive. He didn't say I can't see a vital point. He said I can't perceive. Meaning that clairvoyance got blocked out because there's nothing you can do to attack a vital spot. As if he said, damn, all possible outcomes are just no. So what happens when Ichigo uses the Almighty to say, I'll make sure I win? It's like, no, MUI. Because, guys, if I recall, Dragon Ball God level characters like Beerus, Zamasu are above causality. So even if you try to use the Almighty, you can't use the Almighty against beings beyond causality that don't even operate in the timeline. Goku is a-casual. He literally existed outside the timeline itself. And if you erase Goku in one timeline, it has nothing to do with the current Goku. Nothing to do with him. Like, he can resist it. He doesn't even get erased. And you give him angel powers? Exactly. Infinite Kaioken. Like, no, that's stupid. He doesn't even... And the thing is, crazy thing, Goku doesn't need any of these. Battle of Gods Goku alone already wins this fight. Even if all three of them attack him simultaneously, he wins. Because he just blitzes and then kills everyone. The only person who will have trouble with is the Hogyoku. That's why, if you want to say Ichigo eventually wins, alright, whatever. But Goku could just use the Mafuba. So, there's that. And then, even if Goku doesn't use the Mafuba, Goku still wins as he has Hakai. And I don't know about you guys, but not a damn thing Luffy or Naruto or even the Hogyoku could do anything, because the Hakai was intended to erase immortals. So it erases concepts. So the concept of the Hogyoku get erased. And this isn't wank. This is just me saying, like, alright, this is why Goku does not get lumped in these battles. Dragon Ball is just on a whole nother level. The Goku Black meta? Oh no, I feel what you're saying. This version of Goku sounds like a SSJ Ultra Instinct level threat. Pretty much.
Let's create an anime team with the first 4 letters of my name, starting with...
Today, I'm going to be ranking every anime. If you don't watch anime...
5 underrated anime you must watch.
We're not doing anime rankings, because I don't care about that.
Got the anime team to be mine. You ready?
Okay.
All right. First pick.
Oh.
What'd you get?
I'm gonna go Gojo Vice.
Oh, here we go.
All right. First pick. What'd you get?
I'm gonna go...
Alright guys, I'm going to power down. Can't use this form. Ugh. Can't use that form for too long. Anyway.
Gojo Vice Captain, because I want my captain to be with everybody else, and he can just go and do one.
Come on, work with me here. Work with me. Work with me.
Oh, Nanika?
Yeah, Nanika would be great support, y'all.
Yeah, Nanika's not bad.
I'll just say that.
I mean, you could be on Nanika's team. Oh, we got Gintoki. He's got the...
Yeah, Gintoki's the strongest so far.
So,
Oh my god.
he's gonna be my tank.
Oh, Edward.
Yeah.
I'll put him at healers.
That's not really... Yeah, Edward is going to get sauced.
Support though? Support Yusuke? I mean, that's almost disrespectful.
Gintoki is still the strongest, but Yusuke is second strongest on this.
Right? Give me my support. Alright.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yusuke as a support is fine.
Come on. Gear 5.
But I would have put Yusuke as a captain because he has been a captain before. What is all that noise?
Sorry, those are the dogs.
Yeah. Then we got Luffy. Yeah, but Luffy's gonna get one shot by Yusuke.
Yes, sir. That is my captain.
And Gintoki. Like, Luffy can't hang with Gintoki or Yusuke. Not yet. Now, Yusuke, you could argue Luffy outspeeds them. But yeah.
Father!
Oh my god.
I'm gonna skip.
Giorno Giovanna from JoJo? Support. I would have put him at
Oh my god. Bro, this list is... the guy on the right is busting.
Itadori?
Natsukuna Itadori?
Yeah, that's support though.
I was gonna say. Oh, Noelle. I already used my skip, and she's not gonna be my captain. So.
Let's put him away. Tagoro?
I got it.
Yeah, you got it. I got it.
Oh, he had to skip Tagoro because he knew Yusuke would wash him.
Sun Jim Woo. That is gonna be my vice captain, y'all.
Ooh. Sunjin Woo, how strong is chat? Is Sunjin Woo? Do you think Sunjin Woo could beat, like, from solo leveling? Do you think he could beat Gintoki? That's the question. That's the number one question. Yes. Yes, I ain't determined. Chat, do we think Sunjin Woo can beat Gintoki?
Yo, world champion Ash.
Meadowham?
Oh,
As a tank? Honestly, this is a great matchup right here.
No, it's not. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is this a great matchup? Chat, do y'all think this is a great matchup? Be honest. Let me lower this mic. A Natsu video? We could do a scaling review stream. Terrible match. That's what I'm saying. Well, what? It's like, bro, that's a terrible matchup. You got, like, Sun Jin Woo is apparently 5D, from what I heard. That's interesting. Now, chat, who wins a fight? You don't take everything you hear to be true. Yeah. Luffy not even beating Gojo low-key. Low-key? You right, though. Low-key, though. I could see that. Let me see if, can... Luffy loses. Yeah. I feel it. But Gintoki is the crazy one on here. Gintoki is one-shotting Meruem if we're using his serious feats. Sun Jin Woo can beat Gojo, but it depends. A Hollow Purple could kill him, because a Hollow Purple is infinite mass. It's durability negation. Yeah, I see what you're saying. That's a good point. So, like, this is some of the best art I have seen ever. Yeah, let me see that. The boys' fusion wore off. Yep, that was good. All right. Low ball and One Punch Man. Hey, man, I do what I got to do, though. You know, it is what it is. But if you got counter arguments, that's all good, you know. You do know none of them beating go. Hey, I know what y'all mean. But yeah, chat, we're going to stop it right there today. It looks like we are reaching our conclusion. So we are going to adjourn. But it has been a fun stream to be here with you guys. Sorry for being a little bit late, but we are still able to kick it and get a solid good amount of time in. So we was able to get some time into the stream today. You know, I would say, like, you know, overall 2 hours and 25 minutes ain't too bad, you know, ain't too shabby. So with that being said, I will see you guys hopefully on the next stream, which I will be giving an announcement soon on when that will happen. But again, thanks so much for tuning in, guys, today. This is Atari HMB, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next stream real soon. So with that being said, y'all take care, and see you then. Thanks, Macadamia. I appreciate it. All right, y'all. I'm signing off. Peace. Hold on. For those of you, I may be in the Discord and the call later. So for those of you who didn't get a Discord invite, I am going to be posting it in the chat. So if you guys do have a Discord and y'all want to come through and visit, I will be sending the invite right now. So if you guys want to actually come and visit, you certainly can. So there you go. You can join the Discord there. I may be in the voice chat. So if you want to have a more personal conversation, not like a stream-based one, or one I can give a little bit more detail in, feel free to come by and we'll talk from there. But until then, peace out.